Cycle is our third cycle in the biogeochemical cycle review here. This is for our test that is on Friday, and it will serve as a review. And just like all the previous resources we've talked about so far, carbon is recycled throughout the Earth. We cannot create new carbon sources or destroy them completely. We can only change them into other things. That's the law of conservation of matter. And so we're going to start with the carbon dioxide that is in the atmosphere. There's a couple of different ways in which that carbon dioxide is removed from the atmosphere. One is there's an exchange of CO2 between the atmosphere and water. So oceans and lakes and seas and streams and rivers, they do take carbon dioxide out of the air for brief periods of time, and then they put that carbon dioxide back into the air. What happens is it just dissolves into the liquid, and then it periodically comes out of solution and goes back into the atmosphere. Now, the way in which we remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for a longer period of time is through photosynthesis done by plants. So these plants take in the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and fix it into their food source. Again, plants and some bacteria are the only things that can make their own food. These are referred to as autotrophs. And so plants through photosynthesis take carbon dioxide out and turn it into glucose. That then serves as a food source for those plants. Now, as animals, we can either eat plants or other animals to get our carbon sources for what our body needs. We can't produce our own food like plants can. We can only change the carbon that we absorb into our diet from eating other plants or animals and change it into something else. And so for this period of time, this carbon that was removed from the atmosphere is fixed into a plant or an animal. Now when plants or animals die, though, what happens is the material starts to decay, and some of these carbon products are left in the soil. Now given enough time, and if decomposers don't return that carbon dioxide, that CO2, back to the atmosphere, what happens is this carbon products from decay turn into things like coal, natural gas, oil, and that process takes millions of years. And so during that period of time, we get our other main storage or reservoir of carbon, and that's in carbon compounds buried in the earth. Now, due to our use of these carbon products, we've created an imbalance in the storage of carbon products here on Earth. By burning carbon products, whether it's industry, cars, what we're doing is we're returning carbon dioxide back to the atmosphere. And that's in addition to the carbon dioxide that's being returned by animal respiration. So, you know, there's a balance of carbon products that are buried in the earth as fossil fuels. It takes millions of years. And then there's what's available in the atmosphere. And currently we're putting more into the atmosphere than what should be there. And this is what's referred to as global warming greenhouse gases. You can also see, like I said before, animals and plants are putting CO2 back into the atmosphere. And so it's important for us to find clean methods for running our industry and our cars that isn't returning carbon dioxide to the atmosphere and taking it out of the ground. We want to keep what's there in the ground. I hope this helps you review for our test on Friday. We will continue with our poster and our essay. Remember that there are questions on No Mia.